Do you ever wonder why a video game can be so fun or addicting? What exactly is a good game compared to bad ones? Different variables that determine this is a game's style, story and gameplay, accessibility, user preferences, and replayability. The first video games were considered revolutionary since they were the very first made. It is, in fact, the older games that have stuck with us the strongest because of the new experience it gave players who had never seen anything like it. Up until the 2000s, games were skyrocketing into popularity and integrating themselves into everyday life. Unfortunately, between 2006 and 2012, games were annoyingly being created to act like movies instead of an experience for the player, as most of the fancy graphics were only in cutscenes. Now in present day, gaming is a culture, and we have reached a point where all games are expected to be amazing and unique. Today, we don't really have to focus on getting better graphics and controls because they are pretty much as close to the real thing as possible. Now we can put more work towards what can change gameplay-wise. Let's first look into what good style in a game is. Style in a game is what makes it unique to the others. It is how the game flows with each element in the gameplay. It can be how something looks, moves, or sounds that appeals to the player. You really can't go wrong with style because it is different for every game and player, unless the game is just complete garbage. A great example with unique looks, movement, and sound is the classic Doom. Revolutionary graphics and gameplay helped this game become the grandfather to all later first-person shooters. Almost anyone can recognize its iconic music and sound. It was so popular, in fact, that many other games were created in the same way, like one of my favorites, Heretic: Shadow of the Serpent Riders. Some games can be completely amazing with no story, but it really does help to have a good one to tell. Sometimes, the game is just about its story. This can be good or bad depending on how good the story is. But a game with a juicy story and gameplay combined really is the recipe for success. A great example would be Rage, a post-apocalyptic world of waste and adventure. A game could have a simple story and none at all, but can still become the next popular video game, much like Garry's Mod pet game where anything is possible. A bad example would be something like Goat Simulator, which has no story and moderately fun gameplay. A game can be really successful when its franchise is already popular, it is accessible by everyone, and it's affordable. Games like Call of Duty are known for well-made games that are on PC and console at mostly affordable prices. No one wants to play a pay-to-win game, at least if it's not worth it to spend real money. Games that are platform exclusive obviously have less players, but high-paying ones. If a game wants to be good, it should not hold hands with the player through the game. Having a set way to win a progress can quickly become boring and should only be acceptable in a tutorial. In contrast, games that leave it up to the player to do whatever they feel necessary become addicting and popular. Much like the Butterfly Effect game, Until Dawn, with multiple endings, or the recently mentioned Garry's Mod. Highly praised games are enjoyed by fans mostly because it is what they wanted. Anywhere from graphic settings, to adding more to a storyline can prompt a customer to always want more from a game. The new Doom 2016 brought back classic Doom in a modern style while still holding on to its roots, and fans love the release because of it. A good example of a game fans didn't want was Call of Duty: Infinite Warfare. The last thing they wanted was a game set even further into the future, which in turn made the game less successful. Playing a game is useless without an end goal. People will keep playing as long as there is something to work towards. This is why building and survival games are popular like Minecraft and Rust, because there are endless possibilities. As long as there is some kind of customization, choice, and value to the game, it should keep the player satisfied.